given my kind of work, if it's in that operation, in that we call them phases of operation, if it's in that phase of war where the conflict is still ongoing, then the only role that I can play as a Cimic officer is to make my commander aware of the impact of his operation on the civil population. So there is not, in that phase, there is not much of the Cimic officer going out and actually working with the civil population because the area is not yet secure. So in that phase, you just make the commander aware. For instance, if he's going to carry out an operation and there is an Al-Shabaab, and he's sure the Al-Shabaab is in a building which is behind the school, and then what I do is advise him that, look, if you find you're going to hit the Al-Shabaab in that building, but by so doing, you're also going to hit the school. And if you hit the school, the civil population is losing out. So he'll have to find another way of achieving his mission, but at still the same time protecting what? We call them the civil considerations, those things that are important to the civilian population. But when there is relative peace, like now, then the role is you're more aggressive, you're more outgoing, you can do outreach, you can go out into the community. That is when you start to go out into the community, you start to go and talk to them. You first of all, much as you're addressing you're trying to assess their needs and all that, but also you have to understand that as we peacekeepers come into the mission, these people, they've first of all, they've faced a lot, they've been tormented a lot, both by the Al-Shabaab or by the rebels, and also by their own, sometimes it's by their own forces. In some other missions, it's also by their own forces. So they don't trust anybody coming in combat. So another thing you have to do is you have to make them trust you. You have to show them that you're different. So that is when the Cimic comes in. You go to them, you tell them, we are here to keep the peace, we are here to protect you, we are here to make life better. And then when they start to trust you, then they start to tell you what their needs are. You start to understand them. Then you come back to your commander. You tell him this is the situation, this is what they need. Then you move it up the different chain. The biggest challenge faced here is that the women have taken on the role that was previously played by the men. Most of the men have either joined Al-Shabaab, or they're in SNA, or they are dead. So these women have to take on the role of being the breadwinner. They are not really educated, they have very little skills, and they have no money. So they have to go and look for firewood, they have to beg for food, they have to look after the children, they have to educate the children because there are no schools. So the woman is really, really burdened. The Somali woman is really, really burdened. And on top of that, they've really been violated. Then they need a lot of medical help. Most of them are sick. Their children, they suffer from numerous diseases. So most of the time they'll come to us, they need medical help. They don't have the basics of life. They have no food, they have no shelter, and it's really a sad state of affairs. In the next 5 years, I'm sure the humanitarian aid or situation would have changed for the better. If we continue the way we are doing, like the projects we have so far, we are trying to come up with a project on education to provide they have no schools in this area. So if all these things come in place, the education, the health services, and the community also some training, and they get some skills, I'm sure the humanitarian situation will be much, much better than this.